In Game of Thrones Season 8, Battle for the Long Night, we just witnessed the faceless assassin herself, Arya Stark, take down and kill the Night King.
Finish him!
Fatality.
But was that what it truly was? Or did the Night King have one final trick up his sleeve? What's the deal, my people? Teflon in the building with another Game of Thrones Season 8 video. And after Episode 3, The Long Night, there has seemed to have been some controversy. There has seemed to be some soprano-level disappointment with the ending. And that has nothing to do with the fine acting of Macy Williams or the fine directing of Miguel Sapochnik. Everybody agrees that the episode itself was great, but the ending itself was a little controversial. But was there a huge clue that we all may have missed that could explain this ending away? But before we go into that, if you can, please hit that thumbs up button. I'm trying to get to 500 likes in under 24 hours to trigger the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe, and also click that bell so you could be notified every time I drop a new Game of Thrones video. Because we're going for it all, people. That big silver button in the sky. Help a brother out. First and foremost, I love Game of Thrones. This is my favorite show. If someone asked me what show should they watch from beginning to end, without a shadow of a doubt, I would point them in the direction of Game of Thrones. I have bought the DVDs, the Blu-rays when they came out from the beginning of time, and I love this show. So this is not no hatred or anything for the show. But when you love something, you want to see them do better, right? Just like your child, you love your child, you want to see your child do better. And that's the way I look at Game of Thrones. I love this show so much, but there's just something about this ending that doesn't fit right. I don't know, but I just can't understand a couple of things.
All right, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old, okay? Because there's an element to this thing I just cannot get through my thick head.
Because when I look at Bran and him having to travel to see the three-eyed raven, and him having to get these magical powers to do something to defeat the Night King, the only thing I really seen him do was find out whose Jon's parents are. And if that is important to the show, why wasn't it important enough for Jon to be the one to land the finishing blow on the Night King? I mean, Rhaegar is supposedly this great man who loves to sing and dance. He loves the realm. But why would you throw the realm into turmoil? Why would you leave your wife and steal someone else's betrothed wife just to have sex with her? You would kidnap this woman just to have sex? To make this baby? Or was there more to it? I thought there was more to it. I thought that was the reason why he did it. So did he have sex with this woman so she could die in childbirth, just so Jon Snow eventually could be born, and then give Arya Stark Needle and send her on her path to becoming a faceless assassin so that she can come back to Winterfell someday and kill the Night King? Was that what this prophecy was all about? That's the part that I just don't understand. And maybe this is what it truly is, and maybe this will help me understand. But you tell me, people, if you buy this situation. Now, the actor who played the Night King has just released something on social media. But before we take a look at this, we're going to look at an interview that we know that he did in EW and see if what he says holds any weight or if he's just trolling people. Now, in EW, before this episode came out, in an article, this is what he said about the Night King and Jon Snow. When asked this question, what can we expect from him in the final season? This is what he answered. People will see he has a target he wants to kill, and you will find out who that is. There's also that moment in Hardhome when Jon Snow was on the boat and the Night King looked at him and raised his arms. There's a similar and even stronger moment between Jon and the Night King this time. Now, did we see those things in this season so that we can say we believe what this man is saying? Now, did we see these things this season so that we can validate what this man said? And I would have to say, yes, we did. We did find out that his target was Bran Stark. For some reason, he wanted to kill Bran. I guess they said so he could wipe out all the memory of the world by killing Bran Stark. And we also did see him raise his arms at Jon Snow again for a second time and bring back some people that I think Jon would care about. Now, I think that was kind of weak the way they did it because there were no main characters on the ground at the time. There were just a couple of people that Jon may have cared about, and it was also weak that the Night King, a man who they advertised with this big ass sword on his back, holding this sword in magazine articles, did not even get a chance to pull it out once during this show. In fact, he bitched out and ran away from Jon. He didn't actually run, but he might as well have ran because he did not want to fight Jon Snow and tried to have some of his goons fight his battle for him. I did not appreciate that whatsoever. Whole time, the whole episode, you see these running at light speed. But when they surround Jon Snow, these are the slowest moving whites I ever seen. I mean, they might as well have been the zombies from the Michael Jackson Thriller video. They were moving so slow. I just don't understand it. But back to the video. I get frustrated sometimes. Now, this Night King actor has put something out on social media. This was sent to me. I can't verify that it was really from his account. I think it was. And I'm just going to tell you exactly what he said on this post. Now it says, how did the hashtag Night King change Craster's babies? By touching them. How did he change Viserion? By touching them. What did Bloodraven say to Bran in the cave? He touched you. Hashtag food for thought. Hashtag Night King. Hashtag Game of Thrones. Now let's go back to all those things that he just said and see if that's the truth. How did he change Craster's babies? We did see him lay hands on them. How did he change Viserion? Another time, we did see him lay hands on them. And what did Bloodraven say to Bran in the cave?
He saw me! The Night King! He saw me!
He touched you.
So yes, everything this man said about the Night King laying hands on people and turning them to White Walkers is 100% true. And it also does seem that the people he did touch, he turned to White Walkers. But does that mean that this man isn't trolling us? Because if he's not, then we just seen him lay hands on Arya Stark. Did he transfer his soul into Arya Stark before he died? Is he inside Arya Stark now? Or was he inside Bran Stark the whole time and is still inside Bran Stark at this particular time? It really comes down to, do we believe this man's words at face value, or is he just trolling us, trying to maybe keep his name relevant now that his character's life has ended? But that's really up to you to decide, and you tell me in the comment section. Do you think the Night King is actually dead? Or did the Night King transfer himself into Arya? Or is Bran Stark the Night King and he's always been the Night King because he transferred himself into Bran when he touched him in the dream? That does make sense to me. I am still on the belief that Bloodraven was the Night's King, but Bloodraven transferred himself into Bran, so that all fits my theory, and I hope that that's true. And it actually then explains the ending and why Jon Snow did not get the final kill, because if this is the case and at the end of the show Game of Thrones we reveal that the Night King isn't dead by somebody's eyes turning blue, and we know that the Song of Ice and Fire is going to continue. We won't see it, but it does continue. Maybe then we can say that the birth of Jon Snow was so that his baby with Daenerys, if they eventually have one, has to go back and fight the Night King when this is all said and done. I don't think we'll ever see that, but it's possible that that is the reason why Jon Snow was born. It would make much more sense if it ended like that than what we seen Arya killing the Night King. But again, you tell me in the comment section what you think. And as always, peace and stay sexy.